In 2014, the American Society of Interior Designers was joined by a diverse group of partner organizations at the Clinton Global Initiative, an action-focused platform through which they pledged to create a knowledge base of unbiased, peer-reviewed information and insights to help architects and designers make smarter design decisions about products, materials, and building components that place occupant health and wellness first. Called the Health and Wellness Protocols, this program integrates credible and current knowledge about healthy building design into easy-to-understand clusters of resources. The program saves design professionals time and money by organizing disparate information across many platforms to simplify the insights about causes and effects of healthy buildings and exteriors. It connects the different scales of the built environment in simple-to-understand terms: interiors, buildings, and exteriors. Click here to learn more about the Clinton Global Initiative. The partner organizations involved in creating the brain trust of this program contribute their many perspectives to ensure that the protocols are clear, accurate, and based on solid evidence. Partners include developers, manufacturers, certifiers, design firms, affiliates, health organizations, and technology firms. Click on each partner category to see what partners contribute and who they are. Click Next when you are finished.
There is a growing awareness that the built environment has direct impacts on our health. This trend is becoming an important factor in the interior design market, one that every designer should be paying attention to. Healthier buildings deliver strong returns on investment through benefits like greater worker productivity, lower absenteeism, reduced healthcare costs, improved employee satisfaction, improved employee engagement, and improved ability to attract new talent. Attitudes towards health-oriented design also support this trend. 34% of design practitioners recognize health and well-being as the most important macro trend affecting the practice and business of interior design. 49% of homeowners list preventing health problems or maintaining a healthy lifestyle as a major motivator to remodel their homes. 94% of owner human resources executives take health factors into account when making decisions about the design, location, and building operations, and 49% of building owners are willing to pay more for buildings or leases with demonstrated positive health impacts. 36% are open to paying more but are not sure. When you learn about the health impacts of interiors and about cost-effective solutions for healthier spaces, you can signal your design competence to the multi-billion-dollar health and wellness marketplace, position yourself as a resource that can help clients create healthier, more pleasing spaces that buyers, tenants, and occupants will value, compete for new business opportunities in an area where clients have interest and you have the knowledge, and offer a broader scope of services and solutions to your clients. As you develop skills and knowledge in health and wellness design, you can get involved with clients earlier in the design process, expand the conversations you have with clients and prospects by sharing content about higher quality of life topics that they will easily connect with, and develop enhanced critical thinking skills to help you integrate health and wellness goals into your design process. To design healthy interiors, designers need to understand several core topics, including accessible design and inclusivity, active design and ergonomics, biophilic design and nature, healthy products and materials, indoor air quality, light quality, nourishment and hydration, stress reduction and comfort, and technology. Let's take a look at each of these topics and identify how interior designers can expand their role and potential services by incorporating some of these strategies to design healthier spaces. Try it out. Drag each health and wellness topic to the body system to which it most applies. Click Submit when you are finished. It is important to understand key strategies to design healthy interiors and how they are related to the major body systems. Ergonomic furniture and active design strategies support the skeletal system. Biophilic design strategies provide spaces for metal restoration and agility to support the nervous system, and indoor air quality strategies to remove pollutants such as mold, allergens, and VOCs directly support the respiratory system. Click the Continue button to advance. Understanding these core topics will help you use the health and wellness protocols to develop integrated solutions for healthy residential and commercial interiors. Later modules in this series will explore all of these topics in depth.
As an interior designer, you may have to play the role of risk manager. We manage risk when we want the benefits that a material or product provides and are willing to accept some exposure to a potentially harmful substance to gain those benefits. In other words, the benefits outweigh the risk, and that exposure can be kept to safe levels. Risk-based assessment considers both hazard and exposure to determine risk. Exposure is how much, how long, and how often the substance can come in contact with people or the environment. The risk is the possibility of harm from exposure to a substance of concern under specific conditions. A risk-based approach evaluates the likelihood that the hazard will result in actual harm. It asks, what is the risk to people and the environment of using this material on a particular project? In what ways are we exposed to the chemical? Opinion A. Why should we avoid using innovative products that have positive impacts on our lives and interior spaces when we can reasonably limit exposure to a harmful ingredient? Opinion B. What amount of risk is reasonable? Click to see an example of the risk-based assessment. The degree of exposure to a substance of concern can occur through a combination of respiration, skin absorption, and ingestion. Risk-based assessment requires understanding the pathways in which people will interact with the hazardous material and how they can be exposed. Is it near them, on them, or in them? A material can be near occupants. Will it be in the space but without directly contacting occupants? It can be on them. Will it come into physical contact with occupants, but probably not be ingested? Or it can be in them. Are occupants likely to ingest the material by breathing or by swallowing? Valid risk-based assessments combine information about the dose or toxicity with the likelihood of exposure and duration to quantify the probability that an adverse effect will result. When determining toxicity or concentration levels, it is imperative to account for vulnerabilities such as body mass, age-specific factors, genetic variation, and pre-existing conditions. Generally speaking, people who are shorter, ectomorphic body types may experience stronger reactions to chemicals than taller, mesomorphic body types. This is why it's especially important to consider the needs of the actual occupants of the space as much as possible. Exposure level to a substance of concern can also vary over the life of the material. Some may be more harmful during construction or disposal. For example, caulk or spray foam insulation may pose more potential risk to the installer and less to a building occupant. It is important for a designer to be aware of potential risks and encourage contractors to follow guidelines and instructions. Advise construction crews to follow safety data sheets, SDSs, use protective equipment when installing products, train and certify workers, and ask for support from suppliers and manufacturers. Think about it. What if you had to evaluate an item that had these ingredients? Would you consider it to be safe? Select your answer, then click Submit. You realize that you did not understand the list of ingredients, which are from all-natural blueberries. A list of ingredients with technical names doesn't mean much if you're not a chemist or materials scientist. Even substances like styrene, which may be a concern at high concentrations, is present in the blueberry in an extremely small, insignificant amount. It is impossible for someone without technical training to make informed choices about the health impacts of all the materials that could be used in an interior design project.
There are three basic types of interior lighting: ambient or general lighting, which can be indirect or diffused, task lighting, and accent lighting. A successful lighting plan typically involves a lighting professional and combines all three types of lighting to an area according to its function to ensure proper visual acuity. Generally, recommended lighting levels increase based on the amount of lighting needed for a visual task. Lighting fixtures come in many sizes, shapes, and have varying light sources or bulbs. Common bulbs used in both residential and commercial applications include incandescent, fluorescent and compact fluorescent (CFLs), tungsten halogen, light-emitting diodes (LEDs), and high-intensity discharge (HIDs). Click on each light source to learn about their pros and cons. Click Next to continue. Lighting performance is measured by wattage, the amount of electricity consumed, lumens, the amount of visible light produced, foot candle, measure of light equivalent to 1 lumen per square foot, efficacy, the amount of light produced per watt of electricity is lumen per watt, LPW. Much like miles per gallon in vehicles, LPW compares the effectiveness of lighting products. Efficiency, the amount of electricity consumed per area or watts per square foot is lighting power density, LPD. Industry guidelines are established to avoid overlit spaces and inefficient lighting. Light quality is a function of the spectral output of a light source, the spectral absorbance or reflectance of an object, and the sensitivity of the eye to different wavelengths of light, which we perceive as color. The quality of light is measured by color temperature, how light appears measured by the temperature of an ideal blackbody radiator, correlated color temperature, CCT, a measure of light source's color appearance, expressed in Kelvin. The higher the Kelvin temperature, the cooler the light will be. The lower the Kelvin temperature, the warmer the light will be. And color rendering index, CRI, a measurement of the color quality. Color quality describes how well a light source renders the full spectrum of visible light, and how a source performs compared to sunlight. CRI measures a light source's ability to render color on a scale of 1 to 100. The higher the CRI, the better the artificial light source is at rendering colors accurately. Try it out for yourself. Drag the light output or wattage, bulb life, expressed in hours, bulb cost, and light spectrum to the appropriate bulb type. Click Submit when you are finished. Say goodbye to incandescent bulbs. LEDs and CFLs produce significantly more light for every watt consumed compared to incandescent bulbs. LEDs also have excellent color qualities that offer a spectrum of light equal to incandescent sources. Click the Continue button to advance. Good indoor air quality is a prerequisite for optimal health. Mold, bacteria, dirt, pests, dust mites, pet dander, pesticides, allergens, VOCs, and other contaminants can all impact the air we breathe. 40% of employees report experiencing stale air and poor air quality in their work environment. It is ideal to engage your clients early in a conversation about their air quality goals and sources of both external and internal pollutants. Here are a few questions to consider. Click Next to continue. Ventilation systems are critical to a building's indoor air quality for a variety of reasons. For our health and safety, they maintain fresh air to support the respiratory system, preserve correct level of oxygen, control carbon dioxide, control moisture, and remove dust and odors. As a designer, you will probably not specify mechanical equipment. However, a basic understanding of airflow and ways to control it will give you the opportunity to ask proactive questions, suggest solutions for the component finishes that enhance the design intent, and expand conversations about air quality. So how does air move? Air moves from higher to lower pressure. To produce airflow, there must be a difference in pressure and a pathway for air to flow. There are three basic ways that air exfiltrates, pushes out of, and infiltrates, pulls in a building: wind effect, stack effect, and mechanical effect. Click on each to see its definition. There are two types of ventilation strategies for buildings: natural ventilation, passive air movement through openings in the building envelope, and mechanical ventilation, forced air movement by a system that typically includes a fan, air supply, and air exhaust. Both types of ventilation can be critical to indoor air quality. Here are a few simple rules for ventilation in a building. Most of the building should be under slightly positive pressure to avoid infiltration of outside unconditioned air. Kitchens and bathrooms should be under slightly negative pressure and vented to the outside. Please note that it is important to adhere to manufacturer specification and/or all related building codes when assuring proper ventilation of garages and spaces with combustion appliances or fireplaces.